Hello and welcome to the International Daily Roundup by People's Dispatch, where we bring you major news developments from across the world. Thousands of Palestinians took part in protests across the occupied West Bank on Tuesday against the recent US decision to effectively recognize Jewish settlements in the occupied Palestinian territories. The protests were held in the cities of Ramallah, Bethlehem, Nablus, Jericho, and Jenin, among others. The Palestinian Red Crescent said that 77 people suffered injuries at the hands of Israeli security forces, most of which were attributed to rubber-coated steel bullets or tear gas inhalations. As part of the protests, school, universities and government offices were closed. Rallies and demonstrations in city centers, in cities and towns took place across the West Bank. Close to 2,000 people took part in a demonstration in Ramallah around midday, and approximately 3,000 Palestinians gathered in Birzeit for a protest march by students of the university. They marched to the illegal Israeli settlement of Beit El, which is built mostly on land stolen from Palestinians. In Nablus, protesters burned US and Israeli flags, and in Ramallah, they burnt an Israeli flag and an effigy of US President Donald Trump. Effigies of US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu were also burnt in Nablus. Alphabet Inc., the parent company of Google, has reportedly fired 4 employees in what is being described as an attempted union busting. In a memo circulated among its employees, Google confirmed it had fired Rebecca Rivers and Lawrence Berlin, along with 2 other unnamed employees. Rivers and Berlin were under suspension since November 22nd over charges of apparently violating the company's data security policies. The 2 have denied leaking any sensitive data and have stated that their suspension was in retaliation for their work in organizing the campaign Google Walkout for Real Change. In a statement posted by the campaign on its blog in Medium, it was pointed out that the company officials have denied any leaking of information of data by the 2 and are yet to specify what was the exact nature of the violations they are being charged with. Recently, Google also clandestinely hired IMI Consultants, a management company known for union busting. All of this has been seen by employees as a part of Google actively undermining what it calls its own open workplace culture. The suspension of Rivers in Berlin was followed by a protest demonstration by workers in their support. However, the company went ahead with the dismissals that took effect on November 25th. The Walkout for Real Change campaign was held in October 2018. It saw 20,000 employees walking out of their workplaces in protest against the company's handling of sexual abuse cases. The protesters had raised the issue of forced arbitration and the lack of transparency in investigations of sexual misconduct. Earlier this year in April, 2 of the organizers, Claire Stapleton and Meredith Whittaker, had complained of being victimized, which eventually led the 2 of them resigning their jobs between June and July. Over the past few months, there have been continuous attacks on the occupations of Abahlali baseMjondolo, the shack dwellers movement of South Africa. This movement helps homeless people build shacks through material collected by the community. Its actions have helped hundreds of people in South Africa gain a roof over their heads. However, the state views these illegal actions as illegal and regularly demolishes the shacks and arrests and threatens their activists. We spoke to the movement's founder, Zikode, on its response to these attacks.
Abahlali baseMjondolo are really concerned about the ongoing evictions that are taking place in our cities, particularly in the city of Durban in South Africa. The evictions are often at a gunpoint, unlawful and violent. So this is part of the whole range of planned attack on indigenous people, but also on the right to the city of the ordinary people coming to cities. And we are seeing a lot of gentrification and, of course, the intensification of, a state that is declaring a war on its indigenous people. So our cities have been taken over by mafias and gangsters. We are seeing our cities being militarizing, and we've suffered a lot in the hands of a number of municipalities, not only in Durban, Johannesburg and Cape Town. This is a clear attack on the poor and of our right to city and of our right to self-determination as the poor people of South Africa. So this is really concerning us. And within the midst of that, we want to appreciate that the shared dwellers movement, Abahlali baseMjondolo, still resist all these evictions and degradation of people, and we want to put more effort in organizing and resisting, because we have no other choice but to stand firm against this attack on the indigenous people, the attack on the impoverished people. So we need to stand together as the organization, do our work in terms of making sure that we reclaim our right to the cities and our right to freedom. And nobody else will deliver this to us. And of course, real freedom will never be delivered to us, but it will have to be taken. And this is what we are committed to do, to reclaim our right to the cities.
That's all we have for this episode of the International Daily Roundup. To know more about these stories, visit our website peoplesdispatch.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for watching.